Welcome back to the 2022-23 final playtesting tournament extravaganza. I am Puddnhead, and today I'm joined by Zot and Sharkbait. Hey guys.
Boy,
And this game is from I think I closed it. I closed the group stage of some kind. Which group is this?
Good question.
This
It's
is
my
your group. Your
I don't
group.
know what group we are. Are we B?
Group
I
B.
think we're Group B.
It's Group
Yes.
B.
Yes, Group B. Confirmed.
And Knabbmaster is blue, playing the Paladin in the upper left. And Treecko is green, playing the Adramelech Warlock in the lower right. And let's get this party started, guys.
Let's do it.
What are you expecting?
More fire than usual.
More fire than usual plebeians.
I wonder if we'll see a banner, the Crusade banner come out.
Crusade banner, yeah, that would be cool. I like Crusade banner. All right, we got Battleforge. Seems Paladin-y.
Versus a Fire Mage, though, the banner might not be a good play. So maybe.
Interesting. Choosing to forego any action generator and just get that Ring of Curses going right away. That tells me that the Paladin ought to kind of beware, because first quick cast Nullify would be a good choice.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Depends on what comes with it. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised by the.
Is Harshforge played as War Mage or Warlord?
Warlord.
Mage, actually, because you can run a Harshforge as a Paladin.
Really?
Yes,
interesting.
I might totally do that at this point. With no temple build anymore, just decide if you're going against the Dark Mage, you do the Harshforge, and if you're going against anybody else, you do the Radiant Breastplate.
It's an interesting idea. Maybe that's why the Ring of Curses was played, just because expecting Harshforge.
Why couldn't you play a leather vest instead?
Why would you play a leather vest?
Well, it's just an option.
But the Harshforge makes the curses not hit you, or it makes them pay to put curses on you better.
I know. So, boy, I tell you, some of the things, you got the Paladin who's going to have a Ballista versus a Fire Mage. That's going to not last long. The Crusade banner is susceptible to fire, so that's unlikely. So the fire matchup is a little harsher for the Paladin.
To some extent. I don't know. Both of those things I'm not convinced necessarily are things...
It just makes it a little tougher.
And when the Paladin plays the Crusade banner, especially in a situation like this, it's going to be place it and cast from it right away, I think. Because of the previously mentioned weaknesses. And the Ballista shouldn't come out until there's at least higher threat things on the field, like buddies, right? So if there's bigger buddies on the field, you're not going to sit there blasting the Ballista that is only hitting you every other turn, where the buddies are just sitting there wailing on you. So it depends on how it's set up. They may change it so you're not just like, oh look, I've got Ballista because I'm a Paladin. It's more like, I'll use this later when I need to. That being said, we are looking at... Oh yeah, this is looking familiar to me already.
Oh yeah, this is kind of the thing that he ran against you, right?
It is.
Pentagram
with a mana shard and a mana crystal, lots of mana flowing here.
And as soon as I saw that Paladin move forward one, I would have been, and you put that Ring of Curses on, I would be like, I'm gonna curse you this round. For sure.
Oh, I absolutely would have thrown a Mage Bane on it.
Because then you get your discount from your ring, and the Paladin foolishly moved forward, and now that he's got Aaron here...
do you need 2 to deploy from the...
Yeah.
Okay. From the pentagram? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know, I would have probably forgone at least 1 round of that to put a Mage Bane on the Paladin.
Well, I mean, I guess if he needs whatever comes out of this pentagram right away, that's one thing. I mean, Aaron is probably going to be up and running at the end of this round unless he was able to do something in the quick cast about it. And
I don't know. I think you'd be better off still doing this and then Mana Shard with the Demon Hide Mask this turn and just start blasting. So then I started blasting.
and then fire shock force from my hands.
Lots of hate.
I'd say now I haven't actually run a. Oh, that's an interesting one. Haven't actually run a pentagram book in a long time, but
that is a late Mageddon.
It's a very late Mageddon with Deathlock. This is another reason. So if you're gonna lead Deathlock this early, this is another reason I would have done the Magebane thing, especially early, because that puts damage both on the Paladin and now Aaron's kind of old man Aaron. So this goes back to I think Magebane would have been a better play here. And I like Mageddon, but I think that this battle is developing a little too quickly for Mageddon to really. Well, maybe not. Because Aaron's not going to do much of anything. It kind of changes what the Paladin's going to do.
Yeah.
But it does leave him pretty vulnerable right now, especially being in the center zone, right? Like Mageddon's going to be tough. Oh, yeah. So that's going to hurt. It's going to put a couple more damage on Mageddon before he even comes going.
Yep.
He can't heal it now.
And the Deathlock with Mageddon seems counterintuitive.
Not terrible.
No,
I mean, you're going to go down to 27 health.
You're going to likely do that with Mageddon anyway. I guess you could always drain soul something, but I don't know. Anytime I ran Mageddon, I just ran with 27, and it worked out better than you would think. Because Mageddon himself is pretty good. He's a mage-seeking missile if you want him to be.
What is the correct way to do sealed tokens on Octagon, Shark? How does the code work?
There is no code. You just
okay. So you just move your life. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
This is where you deploy it like a combustion imp or something, and you put the burn on Aaron.
Interestingly enough, with the Enchanter's Ring out, an indication that we're going to see a lot more enchantments out of the Paladin.
Also a good point, yeah.
I would expect that he wouldn't put an Enchanter's Ring in unless he plans to cast an enchantment every round, a friendly one.
Right.
Let's see. It's the Adramelech Warlock's turn. I'm guessing that we see a ballista down here under the Battle Forge this turn.
Yep.
Although it would not be a bad turn to cast a Crusade Banner. Is that zone exclusive? Do you know?
It is.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. So you can move forward and hit Mageddon and cast a Crusade Banner up top and then use it during the deploy phase. Yeah, it costs 7.
Is that right? Okay, so then you get 26 mana minus. So you get roughly 28 mana to mess with in terms of that. Yeah, that's not bad actually. Because then you could what?
You get a couple of Royal Archers. You get a Knight of...
In this case, it would be Dorcius plus something in 0 to 10.
Dorcius plus a White Cloak Knight?
Yeah, maybe something like that. And the reason I say that is because the Dorcius could then heal Aaron.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all right. I mean, we'll see.
Yep, Combustion Demon. Here. I called it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but Combustion Demon's gonna do... I don't know. I guess if you put Marked for Death or Rust on Aaron, it's a 3-die attack. That's not that bad for basically 3 mana, right?
Yeah, and you already got to burn. So, or is that what you mean? 3 mana after the burn goes down?
Effectively 3. No, I was thinking 3 mana because of 2 from the spawn point.
Right.
So it's only 3 mana, so it's not too bad.
But if you count putting the burn on as 2 mana because of Ignite, you could say that you got this guy for 1, really.
Yeah.
Aaron showing that he's not worthy to wield that sword right now.
That or sword's broken. I'm not really sure which.
Yeah. The blade needs to be reforged.
Yeah.
Using a shard of Narsil there. All right, there we get the... Oh, wrong card. Okay.
There we go. All right.
And there's a mark for death.
Okay, there's the mark for death, and then he just blasts.
And he's going to...
Oh, Burning Touch. That's fine, too. 3 dice.
Yeah.
With a burn chance. All right.
I mean...
All right, that's not bad. I don't know that I would have done that.
No, a damage and a burn.
That's just me. It's possible, because... I'm not sure what I would have done. Never mind. I take it back.
No, he's just going to hard cast the knight.
Yeah.
And there's the ballista.
There
All
it
right.
is, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that's not bad either. That's a lot of mana for that, though. He's got he's at 0 now after having exactly 20. He had that planned.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure Mageddon's actually going to get to see the field.
Yeah, Mageddon might take some serious hit from that knight.
Well, a ballista shot, a knight hit, and 1 direct damage every upkeep on top of all Mageddon's going to end up doing is eating a couple shots, which is fine, but also costing you 6 life while you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know that. So I like Mageddon, especially in general. I do not like Mageddon off of the pentagram, especially a light Mageddon off a pentagram. Personal preference there, so could just be that I've been burned before, but
burned? You? Nah.
Live by the fire, die by the fire. Because and the other problem with casting the combustion demon is it's only got 4 health, so it's already lost a quarter of it by just being there inside the consecrated ground.
Yeah. Oh, Mageddon costs 6. For some reason, I was thinking he costs 5. Why did I think that? I knew he costs 6.
Because Aaron does, and they can the same set or the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought the ballista would be shooting at the Deathlock, but maybe not. Maybe it's better to shoot Mageddon down before he becomes active. That seems good.
Yeah, I don't think Deathlock's really hurting you yet. I would shoot Mageddon, personally. But you're right, I could see Deathlock being a target for it eventually. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't want to risk. See, this challenge marker. I don't know. I wouldn't want to risk Mageddon dying before that last 2 life loss goes onto the Warlock.
I don't think Mageddon will die to Ballista plus Knight either. So, Ballista and Knight is 10 dice, and the damage you're expecting off of that is going to be in the 8 range. So
there's a Vorpal Blade.
Bad. And honestly, I don't think losing 2 more life isn't that big of a deal, because he could just go do the Paladin thing, and he's already got 7 life advantage from that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can see why you might want to get the extra 2 on there, but also Mageddon's about to get stabbed.
Yeah, that Vorpal Blade says everything.
Mm-hmm. It's a nasty little Paladin build.
Yeah, bear strength.
And
what?
I was
Okay.
still led with the ballista. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna get.
Absolutely, we're led with the ballista, and then reroll 3.
Well, but here's the thing. I guess he can't die with. He couldn't die from the ballista shot, right?
No, if he led with the ballista, Mageddon would be dead on that swing. He would get his challenge back. So yeah, he did the wrong order there. But that's
well,
okay.
he gets his challenge back anyway, and he got a Valor. Did he get his Valor for attacking the? No, it wasn't the strongest enemy, was it? Yeah, it was.
No.
Actually, I think it was highest mana.
Yeah, it was the strongest enemy because this is 5 and this is 4, and Mageddon 6.
Yeah. You're correct, and then Aaron goes down from the.
Oh, yep, he did get his Valor.
How did that thing heal though?
I don't know.
The combustion demon.
He didn't have any damage on him, did he?
He should have from the consecrated ground.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's because he tried to heal.
Oh, yeah.
And, yep.
Right. They fixed it.
We're good. Either way, I still would have led Ballista into killing your dude, because you would have gotten extra Valor, wouldn't you, for killing your...
No,
challenge?
that's the Signet ring. That's the Signet ring.
See, I always get that mixed up. Mostly because I always cast Signet early.
Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, wow, he replaced that.
Play. Yeah, that's a good play. That's a really cool play.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing the scape more and more.
Yeah. So the
Gets the
Hellscape came
burn.
down to replace the Consecrated Ground, for those who didn't catch what just happened, which then plays kind of like a reversal game here, and now the Hellscape is helping add fire damage to, or
Yep.
flame plus to all the things on there. Now, I probably still would have cast that earlier than was cast, but I don't know. The Fire Fist Brawlers to me are also a little on the weaker side. I like the idea. I don't know that I've ever gotten it to work, so I'm hoping. What happens? Does Hellscape add burns to everything in the upkeep or something?
Yeah.
Yes, if it doesn't
Hellscape
already have
adds
one.
burns to everything, and then it rolls the burns. So
I guess I should
he's
have
gonna.
include, or I guess I should have it not include incorporeal things next time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a little bit of code, that would be good. So the challenge goes down on the Adramelech Warlock here. I also noted that this, whatever this second enchantment is on the Paladin, was put down that turn before he attacked. If that had been a signet ring and he had killed Mageddon, he would have gotten
That's
4
what it was.
extra.
He would have gotten 4 more valor.
Yeah. If he led
That's
with the
what I was
ballista
thinking.
and then attacked with a sword, he would have gotten 4 more valor and a mana for killing his challenge target.
What costs more, the Fire Fist or the Combustion Demon?
Combustion Demon is 5, Fire Fist is 4.
Okay, so Combustion Demon then. That makes sense. So yeah, you could easily stack up a quick 6 mana aura, especially if you deploy the armor that lets you go back onto guard. So you could like do your aura very quickly, get a huge buff for your dudes, which there is someone to benefit from it, and then immediately go on guard, and it's not a completely wasted turn. So yeah, that's another reason why I personally would have done the Signet. I don't know what that enchantment is yet, so there's incomplete information. But stabbing paladins with a Signet is, I mean, I love doing that. So get the aura turned on early, and you got a wrecking ball of a paladin.
Because it's what, melee 1, pierce 2?
Yes,
something like that?
For it's melee 1, pierce 2. That is correct.
Yeah. Elemental Cloak, making the fire attacks do less damage. So net -1 for Treecko's Warlock right now.
Oh yeah, that's a fun explode target. Oh, there's the
there's the nullify.
Okay.
All right.
I still probably would have done the Signet myself, but I don't know. I can see why. So nullify is justified. I would probably have done the Signet myself. That's all. So it comes down to preference for me. Neither. I wouldn't say nullify is a bad play. Just I would have done Signet. I also like to get the lightsaber out. So interesting that Treecko continuously uses the mage action early. I tend to find that I see people do the mage action later, because you want to save the big important actions for when you see what your opponent's doing.
Yeah, I think he is feeling a little pressured right now, probably, and wants to make sure that he gets something on. I'm guessing that the first one was Rust, and this one is like Agony or Mark for Death, probably.
It was or Adramelech's Torment to keep the burns on there, because he's stacking burns.
No, there goes your only active creature.
Yeah, that's a rough one. The other option that I think it might be is the trap. That's what I want.
And because things are getting killed off, he's not getting the extra buffs on the pentagram.
He galvanizes a burn. Activates and attacks.
Oh, galvanize is awesome.
Yeah.
6 damage. Yeah. You're
plus
toying with
three blank rerolls.
Oof. Yeah, you're toying with the danger there. What was revealed from Treecko?
Adramelech's touch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's trying to keep the burns on there.
Yeah.
Which fair, but you got to stack those way faster.
Yeah, it's not. Adramelech's touch does not prevent galvanize from doing its thing.
Right. It's only during upkeep when the burns would fall off is when you can pay
Right.
for the.
Yep. There's another reason. I actually probably would have run Cassandra myself in this case. If you want to keep the burns on there.
Be better than some of these little bitty guys.
Yeah, because it's also, she doesn't cost any mana to keep that going, and she's a pretty tough creature for a Paladin to hit, especially with this board state.
I think Deathluck is going now, probably. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to keep the Deathluck so that there can't be any draining going on.
I was going to say, it's a damage race right now that the Warlock is not set up to win. I would keep Deathlock going.
I mean, if he gets an explode on the elemental cloak off and a fire blast or something.
A lot of mana.
I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's one of those, like, let's see, 17 is, yeah, you could.
That's enough to do it.
That in your, but you can't deploy anything. So.
That's okay. You don't need to deploy anything this round.
I would probably have brought out more bigger buddies. Like a Dark Pact Slayer would at least be in the same weight class. But
the flaming guy.
Yeah, but everything you deploy is going to get shot by a ballista anyway. So you're at somewhat of a disadvantage anyway. And Paladin's good at taking out big guys, but right now there's not enough threat on the field, and the Warlock is not set up in a way to be a direct threat quickly. Right?
Right. You don't have the Hawkeye, you don't have the Fire Shaper Ring.
She can accelerate, but I'll tell you what, you need some setup, and right now the setup is more built towards the pentagram, which is fair, but you got to be aware of where you are. And the Paladin's just stacking dice.
Yep, Battleforge is really good for that.
Yep. And Knabbmaster's playing the Paladin in a way that I love. Ooh.
There's your flying sidekick.
Yeah. It's so funny to me that one you can just buff everything. 5 dice ain't bad though. Oh jeez, you can even reroll. I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
Is that once per turn or is that once per attack?
Once per turn.
Okay.
Once per round. Yeah.
Yep.
They reroll their attack dice.
Yep. So you just did it early, and that's fine.
And he rerolled 2 blanks into
4 crit.
4 crit, yeah.
He's dead now.
Yeah, and then the ballista's just gonna take out the small dudes. If you want anything with a chance of sticking, you gotta get something big.
Ouch.
Ow. What
10 damage. And he's like, I'm out of here, man.
Yeah. 10 damage on 9 dice isn't that huge, I guess, by comparison, but.
And then
only getting 1 corrode.
Knight of Westlock coming in, finish it off.
It's so I like the thoughts. There's 2 branches of thoughts here for the Adramelech Warlock for me, right? What Treecko did is either a creature-based burn build or a curse build. And in some ways, like the Ring of Curses really didn't help much. It's a little bit too much split focus, too much economy early too. I think the early mana crystal was not helpful, especially if you're going to cast the pentagram. I would focus more on if you're going to get the pentagram down early. Pentagram, especially if you're going to cast Mageddon. Even Pentagram Mageddon on the same turn, because you have 20 now, and it's only 14 and 6, right? Pentagram and Mageddon together on the first turn would actually be a way to accelerate into a mid-game play there. I think that's probably your better play. Then if you really want to kick the pentagram into gear, you can add a mana shard, you can add a mana crystal, but I would start with those 2 to get the tokens out of the way and get mana on the gram.
Early Deathlock was to prevent the Aaron healing up. But the problem is when you drop the Deathlock, it's now a damage race. Yeah. And with the forge and everything else, he should have pivoted to dealing as much fire as he could.
Exactly. When you're not prepared to make that race, you can't do a Deathlock. So
that's right. And so the Deathlock
option, though, is Rust. Aaron coming in full blast is fine if you just rust him, because you've got Mageddon and whatever you've deployed off your pentagram are going to beat the crap out of Aaron. I don't care how good Aaron is. You can poison blood him later on. You can do whatever you need to do, but rust and keep him from doing stuff. Aaron will fold pretty quickly to a Dark Pact Slayer and Mageddon, and your mage, right? So I understand the fear and the reason to put down the Deathlock in this game. I would advise being more patient next time, strictly because it also killed you.
Right. So that's the Deathlock was a mistake if he wasn't going to pivot to dealing fire completely.
Yep.
So
Deathlock came out after Pentagram, is that right?
Right. Say again?
Deathlock came out after Pentagram?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was a turn 3 play.
Okay. Well, that's your classic stabby Paladin with a couple of knights and a ballista backup.
Yep, it was well played by Knabbmaster. He had a game plan and stuck to it, and honestly, it kind of worked.
Brutal and efficient.
I do think that were it me, I would have tried to put the signet ring on before killing Mageddon. He could have gotten a lot of valor. Now, granted, with the Deathlock out, you weren't necessarily going to need to go in for the long game. So making the short-term gain of not getting cursed might have been a better choice ultimately.
I don't think it would have been that much of a long game. Like, especially in the case, because you could have easily added another die to your attack plus piercing too. Granted, you may not have needed it with the Vorpal Blade, so sure, all right. But I would have done it. Just me, but I do like the way it played out here because it also worked, and there's multiple ways to play this.
Yep.
So, very cool game from both these guys. Good strategy. I think Treecko just needs a little bit of order refinement before it becomes really nasty.
Yeah, and it could be one of those things where the pentagram play in general, maybe you don't play it versus certain mages.
Also fair.
I mean, it's only 4 spellbook points. I understand that it also enables a bunch of other spellbook points, but yeah, I wonder if there are just ways of fighting the Paladin that have to be different from fighting some other mages. Or
depends on the Paladin
I guess
too.
To put it a different way, yeah, fighting a Battleforge might be ways of fighting somebody who's gonna gear up and whack things really hard.
The aggressive Battleforge should have also been a clue that the battle's going to be joined further into your area.
Yeah, earlier than you wanted it to.
Correct.
Yeah, it's true. That one, if you brought the pentagram back a bit, it would have possibly benefited you to fight in your own corner there. All right, that's about all the analysis I've got.
Yeah, or instead of when you see Crystal Battleforge first turn, and you play, what did you play? Crystal and Curse Ring. Mm-hmm. The next turn, you plan to Hawkeye and Curse or something, you know?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
And then you just throw fire.
Because the Paladin was at no point even remotely threatened by things, so he could keep implementing his plan. Whereas if he pivoted to a different strategy like fire or whatever, then he might force the Paladin to use some of those actions dealing with what the Warlock is doing.
Right, and then maybe you can save up some mana for a big creature later.
Right. I think a Mageddon versus an aggressive player like that, I'm not sure is the proper play.
Unless you do Mageddon first turn. Like I said, if you do Mageddon, you open with Mageddon Pentagram, you might be okay because Mageddon will be online by the time the fight happens.
Right. Be joining the battle right when it's engaged.
All right. Well, hey, that was Group B, Knabbmaster versus Treecko. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.